Hello everybody and welcome back to Formula Virtual Racing. My name is Evan Dalton and we are here for the Italian Grand Prix at the Temple of Speed in Monza. It is a fantastic track and we have a fantastic race ahead of us with rain all in the Grand Prix. It is going to be interesting and we can't wait to have you joining us here with us. But the man joining me right now is Brendan. Brendan, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, and yourself?
Not too bad, not too bad. We're currently having a look at the brand new Red Bull. It is the special turkey livery, but it's in Monza here, of course. But it is the special turkey livery for today for Red Bull. We'll see what they can do. There's yellow flag in Sector 1. We won't check that now as we are with Marcus Tell on a lap. The Norwegian, of course, hasn't been here in a couple of weeks, hoping to pick up Red Bull's form, which has been poor in recent times. So we have to wait and see what he can do. It is rain in the race, so do not expect world record qualifying laps, as most of the drivers will be running a rain setup that is probably with more downforce, although I have noticed the setups don't seem to be too varying. Beautiful halo camera here on board the Red Bull Racing machine, and he's made a bit of a wobble on the curb, but we'll have to wait and see. Hello to everybody watching. Brady saying dry or wet setup. Brady, I'm not really going to tell you what to go with. It is your decision. Looking at the Norwegian, number 97 Red Bull. It is top yet with the fastest time, a 1:22.2. Where can Marcus go? He beats it, 1:20.0. Fantastic lap for Marcus Towell. Who's next? The Haas, the other white machine on the track of Yara Ghost, making his debut today. That is, of course, now the second Liam on the grid. Hello. Brady, if you want a serious answer to that question, I would say dry setup. I ran it yesterday in FERA. It was perfectly fine. Aaron McFall starting a lap in the Alpha Tauri. We can get someone to go on with for a lap. Brendan was up to go with Liam, the Ferrari. He's just come through the Parabolica.
Right, Ferrari at Monza. Let's see how this goes. Liam, who's had some decent up form, picking up some solid points, which will be important for his championship campaign. See how far he can get up the standings. Into turn 1, Aussie, did you update? You can't cut the curbs now. You have to stay right on the black stuff, as it is through the Curva Grande, and so far it's, well, close enough, because you probably be close as you possibly can get to a Grande lap. Turn 4, looking alright.
It's Liam, Lesmo too. Brendan's back.
It's true. Sorry, I couldn't say that in there for a moment. But it was true to Lesmo. It's looking alright, and now turn towards Ascari, where it is very easy to lose, but the curbs don't seem to be as violent to you as they would be in, or would that would be turn 1 and turn 4. So now as you come down to what is now known called the Curva Amberes officially, but we all know this, the Parabolica. Important not to go too wide or do a Charles Leclerc. And coming up to the line, Liam goes P4. Not bad.
P4 with the Ferrari, remember? Yep, he's ahead of Legend, and he's looking good today, is Liam. He's had good qualifying pace in recent times. He's ahead of the current championship leader, Legend Rosenberg, whose teammate, Lewis McWilliam, is currently on the provisional pole. Them two guys, really fast in the wet, they will be one to watch. But Monza is a completely different ball game to Portimao and to Belgium, where they were both very quick in the wet races earlier on in the season. Some more people on laps. Enzo King to the Curva Grande, apologies. He's got a bit of a tow from an Alpine here, I imagine. That is the Alpine of, there's a big gaggle of cars in front. That is Luke Davis in front in the Alpine. He is replacing, of course, Junior today. So let's see what Luke can do. Had a fantastic performance in Abu Dhabi. Wasn't so good in Austria, but he did prove himself as a driver to keep on the radar in Abu Dhabi. Enzo King now on the straight, heading towards the Ascari. I believe this is still the Ascari straight. You can correct me on that one if I'm wrong, but
yeah, let me see.
Under the old banking, of course, for those who know, Monza, of course, had a banking. That is, that's a bit slow, and it's invalid for Enzo. He will not be completing this lap. That is an invalid lap time for the Austrian, the man who won his home Grand Prix in Austria. Adrian Teisch in the third Italian team. Well, Italian/Swiss team, of course.
Enzo probably should just head on to the pits now. So I thought his lap was gone there, but it wasn't.
No, so
Because he went slightly wide on the exit Parabolica or Cover Grand or Alboreto.
He
The
can
top
have.
team is retired.
Oh, top of your team is out. That is that Ascari. We'll go on board with Marcus Tell, and we'll see what's happened here to Thomas Mengens in the Haas. It is going to be one white car passing another. There he is. Easy mistake that can be made on the exit of Ascari, but top you. He's still got a lap in. Well, I think he can be beaten. He will be starting at the back. We'll go back to Adrian Teisch. He's just heading through Ascari. You can see him on the outside there. Top you. And Adrian's kept it valid. Surprisingly, I would have thought that one would have most certainly been gone, as that was very wide there, but we'll see what Tapia can do. Not Tapia, apologies, Adrian Tapia is out of the session. We'll see what Adrian Teisch can do as he comes through the curve Alboreto, heading towards the start-finish line here at the Temple of Speed, where straight line speed is everything. It is 10th spot for Adrian, and that's not too far off, because I believe the top guys could be running dry setups here, Brendan.
Yeah, obviously track position might be important, as obviously you can't really pass as well in the wet, given that the speeds are reduced.
Yeah, of course, it's very tricky to get the traction out of some corners as well. Enzo has invalidated his next lap as well, so that's not good for him. Juan Hernandez hasn't set a time yet. He is still looking for his first F4 win. Is the Spaniard who left one Torpedo League, dominated it, and has come back to us here in Formula Virtual Racing. He is in the Mercedes car for this season. Him and Enzo having a good run of things. They're both doing very well as teammates. Enzo, of course, had his dominant streak with 3 driver of the days. Slow Alpine on the inside there, but here comes Juan Hernandez. There is about 8 minutes left of qualifying. Can't get the time. There it is, 8 minutes 13. There was a yellow flag covering it. Well, there's Lesmo 1 for Juan Hernandez. We'll listen to the Mercedes roar. That was smooth through there for Juan Hernandez. This could be a very nice lap if he can nail the Ascari. He can nail the Parabolica, or the Curva Alboreto, of course, as is
well,
now
Lewis
called.
said he has a half and half setup, so he's in for a compromise rather than fully towards one or the other.
So Lewis is going to be running a hybrid setup in terms of the dry and the wet. Of course, it is rain forecasted for the race, full wet. It would be red flagged by modern F1 day standards, but we're still going to go racing. Here comes Juan Hernandez towards the line in the Mercedes. It's second spot just off the top. And someone has slotted in. Is that Aaron McFall has just slotted in behind him in the AlphaTauri. So that is good stuff from Juan Hernandez and from Aaron McFall, slotting themselves in second and in fifth. Liam Redmond's going to have another bite of the cherry. He's gone for another lap down into turn 1, a very tricky chicane now that you cannot cut across. That is Tim Wentink on his return for Red Bull Racing. He's put his Red Bull in 5th spot. This is good so far for Tim Wentink. He hasn't raced, he was out due to surgery. He's all good, all back now, and he is back for another season. Next season, of course, he'll be doing a few reserve appearances, but we do only have 3 rounds left.
Brady said he's went default.
Brady. Brady! No! That's not what... So Brady has... Aaron's on a wet setup, by the way. So Brady has added 2 and 2 together, and he has got 7.
No, you mean he has added 2 and 2 together and got x squared plus 743x minus 79.
Brendan, he's added 2 and 2 together and got bonjour by the looks of things. Liam Redmond is about to complete his lap, and he's pulling to the right hand side. This is a good lap from the Ferrari man.
It's not that.
It's not a positional. Not a positional little improvement for Liam Redmond. Legends down in 10th though. This is interesting from the Aston Martin. He's on a lap now. I imagine he will be improving this lap most certainly. Pulls to the right hand side. Where is the Dutchman gonna go? It's only 7th. So it's definitely a wet setup for Legend Rosenberg. He's not going to take pole. Brady says his default setup is OP. We'll wait and see what happens with that one for sure. But it is Legend Rosenberg 7th. That's not good for him. He's not normally in those sort of positions. The bottom 3 still on to complete a lap. That is Manuel Antons, who's gone 6th spot, and Avest is taking a trip to the gravel trap on the exit of turn number 4. He has taken a little trip there. This lap won't be anything too great. I imagine it'll still beat a few of the slower runners. It could probably beat Topia, as much as Topia would not like that. They all use a range setup. No, Brady is using no setup. Lewis is on a hybrid. And I can't imagine Juan is on much different, or Marcus, because it is very close at the top. And that is someone gone at the Curva Grande. Is that an... No, that's just an AlphaTauri going slow. We're sticking with the Alfa Romeo, Vestago Badi, the Ukrainian representative. That's actually a pole lap from Jake Marsh. With 4 minutes and 25 seconds to go, Jake Marsh has taken pole position. That's a fantastic lap from the young Briton in the McLaren. Here comes Avesta to cross the line. It is good enough for 14th after that mistake. Well, he won't be happy with that, but it is Jake Marsh in the McLaren on pole position. McLaren having similar pace here like they had in real life, Brennan.
Yeah, it looks like they're doing well, although one McLaren is on pole and the other McLaren is well in the mid-pack.
So it's just like real life.
Oh,
Brennan is a Ricardo fan for context. I'm a Verstappen fan, he can't use anything against me. Marc Castell has retired from qualifying. He has crashed at the Ascari. Luke Davis has gone 7th.
GP in real life, Evan.
Championship lead. Here's what happened, Marcus. Oh, Marcus is on the straight, and that has cost Can Banan. That has cost Can Banan there. Because there was just a white Red Bull sat in the middle of the circuit. Nothing he could really do about it, to be honest. But it's cost him 3 minutes 17 remaining in qualifying. But I do imagine we do have a timing error. Like always, we will have to wait and see how long is actually left in qualifying. Because Jake Marsh is only entering the pits now. I imagine he'll do another run. I can't see why Juan is only doing one run. Yet, because they're not going to need the soft tyres. Tim Wenting is on an outlap. Evan, thoughts about Imola? I take it you mean Imola on the game, because Imola is a fantastic track in real life. It's fun. I haven't driven much of it yet, but it is fun in my opinion. We aren't going there here in the Formula Virtual Racing calendar this season, but it is going to be a fun one for sure. I don't think overtaking is promoted too well around there, but it is a fantastic track to hot lap. For sure. And one man starting a hot lap in Italy is Tim Wenting. He's across the line now, down into the Della Roggia chicane. No, it's not the Della Roggia chicane, is it? It's definitely not the Della Roggia. That is the second chicane, of course, in Monza. This is an Alfa Romeo going slow, just in front of Tim. Well, a bit in front of Tim. He's going through Lesmo 1. The straight is so long. Yeah, overtaking can definitely happen at the straight in Imola, but the corners not so much, of course. That is the Rettifilio chicane, that's what that one is. The Della Roggia, of course, is the second chicane. Tim Wenting, though, is already at Lesmo 2 by the time I'm figuring that. We'll go on board with the white Red Bull. You can see the onboard there. Beautiful car. It's not going to be in the game for the full time. It will only be in for a minimal amount, but it is here, and it is here to stay for a few weeks at least. Tim Wenting into the Ascari chicane. This is a good lap so far from the Dutchman on his return. He's kept it valid, which is an important thing to do. You don't want to get your lap cancelled, of course, when you're on a bit of a flyer. He's 0.419 off pole position. In 5th spot is Tim Wenting in the Red Bull. Coming through the Ascari, no, not the Ascari, the Parabolica, apologies. Here comes Tim Wenting, charge across the line. Is it going to be pole for Tim Wenting? No, it's only good enough for 3rd spot. He improves by almost 3/10 of a second. He's going to go for another attempt, I imagine, but that's still a good starting spot. Brady Pollock is invalidated.
Definitely have a timing glitch. Juan's only out now.
Yeah, we definitely have a timing glitch. Jake is only coming out now as well. And there's no way Juan would make that sort of mistakes. Juan is a superior racer. Thoughts about the 2022 calendar? It's too long. It is way too long. 23 races is really, really long in my opinion. I reckon they should just... God, if I could have 2 F1 seasons a year, I would. I do love a short calendar. 10 races, fantastic. There was a lot of traffic at the first chicane. The second chicane. That is the Della Roggia. There is a lot of traffic heading through Lesmo 1, through Lesmo 2, and about to head into Ascari. The slipstream shenanigans. Some may remember that phrase from when I first started commentating. The slipstream shenanigans are out in full flight. Cito is on a lap for Ferrari. How Ferrari would love a winner today. It's definitely unlikely unlikely to see a Ferrari on a podium today, but who knows what can happen in the rain. But it is Cito now on a lap. He's heading through the curve at Grande, and he's down into her chicane. What's this lap? Cito's up. He's up on his time, but he does need a big improvement. He's definitely running a wet setup though. But the battle for pole is now on. Lewis is on a lap, heading down to the Della Rossia for his final time. Cito hasn't validated down the back. Tim Wenting is finished his qualifying session. Juan Hernandez is on the lap as well, but we'll stick with Lewis. He is flying in the second sector, down the straight under the old banking. Who's not going to make it?
Jake, because he's...
I don't... Oh, Jake, he's charging towards the line. Is he going to make it? He has made it, just about. So Jake Marsh is also in the fight for pole position. But here comes Lewis McWilliam heading towards the Parabolica. The Scotsman, who has been dominant all season. He's lost his championship lead. He needs a good race today. Parabolica for Lewis McWilliam. Someone has improved. I think it was Aaron McFall. Lewis tucks to the right-hand side. It's pole. It's pole for Lewis McWilliam. So far, 19.5. But don't count out Juan. Don't count out Jake. As Juan is 3/10 up in the middle sector. Tim Wenting is backed off, and he is going to start in a maximum of third. Apologies. Parabolica. Well, the Curva Alboreto for Juan Hernandez. Pin the throttle, nail the exit, bolt across the line is a pole for Juan Hernandez. Oh, it's only good enough for second. Jake Marsh, the one remaining challenger. He's currently off the pole. He needs a big improvement. Lewis McWilliam, that was a fantastic lap with a 19.5. Here comes Jake Marsh into the chicanes. He's pushed it flat through there. That was very smooth. He's taking a little bit of grass on the exit. That's definitely not going to help his time here. Avesta Gobali has slotted himself into 7th. That's a shock for Avesta, who was having a poor qualifying. Legend Rosenberg is still on a lap, by the way. He can definitely improve. Jake pulls to the right-hand side. I don't think this is going to be enough for pole. It is not. It is only good enough for third spot. We jump down to Legend, who has finished. And Legend will only start 8th in this race. That is a poor performance by Legend Rosenberg. Can Banana still on a lap down at 7? No, he's 27 seconds down. It is pole once again for Lewis McWilliam. That is a fantastic lap for Lewis. It is a 1:19.578. This is going to be an interesting race, Brendan. This is going to be a really interesting one.
Honestly, if it's wet, people with wet setups probably will be able to capitalise a bit. And obviously they might find it harder against maybe the quicker drivers.
Definitely. It is pole position for Lewis McWilliam, 1:19.578. Juan Hernandez in second spot, followed by Jake Marsh, Tim Wenting, Marcus Towell, Liam Redmond, Avesta Gobali, Legend Rosenberg, Aaron McFall, and Manuel Antones rounds out the top 10. Luton Davis in 11th, Brady Pollock in 12th, Enzo King 13th, Marcel Maggiera 14th, Cito in 15th, Adrian 16th, Khan in 17th, Chloe 18th, Topia 19th, and Yara Ghost in 20th, who qualified on the mediums, funnily enough.
But the top team said a 1:22.222, just for satisfaction.
That's a cool lap. That's a cool lap by Topia. It's unfortunate that he did crash out, because he probably does have good pace around Monza, but that is a cool lap nevertheless. But we're in for a treat here in Monza, of course. It is wet race. I think it's full wets, but I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's set to dry up, but Brendan, as I ask you always, who do you think is going to win the Italian Grand Prix and why?
Who knows? Looks like Lewis. That was a dominant pole position.
We do have to remember he's on a hybrid setup though.
Yeah, he is on a hybrid setup. So obviously the balance could shift from could shift from him to maybe Juan, Jake, or even Legend if he does have a real full wet setup.
Yeah, if he does have a full wet setup, he will be quick in this race. But he was slow in qualifying, and that's unlike him. He's on a fantastic run of form. He has won the last 3 races here in FVR, and I wonder, can he continue that? Oh, it's intermediate tyres. We are on the inters. So a full wet setup isn't going to work here. A full wet setup just isn't going to work. Do we have anyone gambling for the wets? No, all on the Inter. So that is surprising, Brendan. Are you still going to stick with Lewis for this one?
I don't know if it will be Lewis, but could be anyone really.
Anyone on a dry setup is going to benefit from this, because it's not as wet as people on wet setups.
As I believe Khan has left.
Oh, he's had a disconnect there. We'll get an invite back to him as quickly as possible. Oh, never mind. He's back. He's back with a bang, as there's been two DSQ. Oh, what's happened at the back there? There's been some contact somewhere. But we are set for Inters for the rest of the race, so it doesn't look like it is going. We're going to have a condition change here. Because what the drivers thought it was full wets for the rest of the race. It is the Inter tyre. Hybrid setup probably the best because he'll have more straight line speed, so he won't be able to be overtaken. Good point there from Harry, who's watching the stream. Thank you all for watching the stream, of course. We do have a fantastic race in store with Lewis leading from the pole. Lewis needs to lead from the pole and needs to win this race if he wants to take back a fight in the championship.
Let's see, well, the Red Bulls are 4-5 with a white livery.
Yes, of course, Red Bull having a good performance. Hopefully they can continue. So far they're doing really, really well. But Lewis just did a very quick formation lap to get the tyres heated. It will be top... No, it won't. It'll be Marcel who's at... Oh, no, not even Marcel. It will be Khan who is at the back.
Marcus doing so many burnouts and he's done a 360.
Oh, no. Marcus has completed a 360 on the formation lap. That's not very good from
at least
Marcus.
the tires are warm.
I suppose they are, but like, is that really a good thing to be that warm after having a spin? Probably not the best, but we are lining up on the grid as Adrian's had a little bit of a drift there. We know Adrian has a couple of rally skills in his locker. Marcus saying, what are the bottom five doing? I don't know what's happened there, Marcus.
Well, so you can. It's probably
Marcus is complaining. He's complaining about the formation lap. So we will get going now. Everyone is lined up on the grid. There is Khan. We'll have to wait and see who will win the Italian Grand Prix. We'll find out in 27 laps. 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. We go racing in Monza. What's the traction? It's going to be really difficult for these drivers. It looks like Lewis has gone away well. Juan's out. Oh, we have a mass collision. Jacob Juan both out of the Grand Prix. We have a mass collision and a safety car. Before we reach turn 1, Juan has lost it and taken out Jake. And two drivers who could have won this race are both out. There's penalties flying everywhere. It is carnage here on lap 1. Tim Wenting is up to 3rd, Avestigo Badi up to 4th, Liam Redmond for Ferrari is in 4th, Legend is up to 5th, Brady, Manel and Aaron. Juan has messed up big time and he has paid the price of it here.
Wait, Jake wants a restart. Jake wants a restart.
There cannot be a restart, unfortunately. That is completely against the rules.
You have to wonder.
Oh, it's really unfortunate for Jake and Juan, but there's no you cannot restart a race for that. It is stupid from Juan, and he will possibly be banned for the French Grand Prix. Because that is a massive mistake from Juan Hernandez, and he's taken out Jake.
Yeah. I don't even know what that was. And
that's so chaos is what it was. Jake is not happy. But
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all. He had no chance.
But I do get his point. Like, it has managed to compromise a lot of races with penalties.
Yeah, there's a lot of penalties. I shouldn't be banned for a crash. Well, it depends what the stewards see of it, but he's made a massive mistake. He's paid for it as one. Manel in the pits. Well, Manel is in the pits, so is Marcus. He's dropped to the back. This promotes some more drivers up. Yara Ghost in the pits as well for Haas. I don't really know what to say. Normally we get a race start with a couple of battles, but we've had the race start done. More turn 1. He had too much wheel spin. Well, there's only one driver pressing the pedal. Really? I don't really see how too much wheel spin can be used as an excuse.
Yeah, I think everyone does get 5 seconds for this.
Yeah, but like, I mean...
Yeah, but like...
It's a first lap incident. They're gonna happen, it's racing. It's a first lap incident, like, I mean, it's...
probably one or two other people not having awareness away from Spa 98.
It's trying to spanner in the works for sure.
Yeah, and will these penalties then get removed?
Well, if they serve them under safety car, no.
Yeah, but are they... Is there really nothing you can do about them? Like you've been utterly compromised because of them.
Yeah, it has, I suppose, but I mean, what can you do? Like, they've been given a penalty. If it's served under green flag, it can be removed.
So it's not 15 seconds.
What has happened there? I mean, it's unfair to Jake. Cito's out as well. I don't know what's happened to Cito, but he is out as well. So that Ferrari only have one driver left in their home Grand Prix. It will be a tough evening for the race stewards to decide. Like, Juan will probably get a penalty for that, because it is his fault, whether you say it's wheel spin or not. He spun across the track and took out Jake. Whether you want to get technical about it or not, that is what happened. Whether it is a severe penalty for Juan, whether he caused a mass effect behind, I don't think he can get penalised for that. But again, it will come down to the race stewards. See what will happen. We'll let you know the penalties now. They will all be served when they make a pit stop. It is 5 for Legend, 5 for Brady, 5 for Aaron, 5 for Adrian, 15, and 5 for Marcus. You can see them there on your screen beside the timing tower. It's a tricky one. There's the positional change. We'll get you that there. It is 2 for Tim Wentink. It is 4 up for Avesta, 2 up for Liam. It's 3 up for Legend. It's 6 up for Brady. Good start for Brady.
Yeah. I think Marcus got his penalty there from as he got kind of caught up behind Jake and Juan.
Yeah, I know, it's unfortunate, but like, I mean, Marcus has served his... Oh no, he hasn't served his penalty now. He did pit, but he hasn't served his penalty. Topia's got a 5 seconds for a collision with Cam Banan. That's 100% Topia's fault. That wasn't in the first lap incident, and we have a safety car in this lap. We'll get the positional change down for you now. There's no point having that or tyres up, because it all really doesn't matter now at this point. Tim Wentink on the grass. Tim Wentink has gone on the grass. He's dipped it on the grass. He's okay, though. Lewis Willie's away from the safety car restart. Never expected Juan to make an error like that, but I'm glad he did, so I can laugh at him. Okay, Kyle, bit mean, but fair enough. Lewis McWilliam will lead us away. The safety car is not in the pits yet, so he cannot go yet, but he will get us away after the safety car line. He's did many of these this season. He's going to do another one. Here comes Lewis McWilliam. We go racing in Monza. He's caught out Tim. Look at the vessel on the inside. Fantastic restart for Avesta Bardi, and there's looking like another collision. These are 3 wide down the main straight into Monza. This could all end in tears again. We've had one collision on lap 1. We have another, but Tim's gone for the lead. Oh, contact! The Red Bull and the Aston Martin have made contact. Tim Wentink and Lewis McWilliam both fighting. Lewis has no wing. I don't think he has a front wing. Oh no, he does. He's just
simulation damage or something.
He does have a front wing. Liam Redmond of the Ferrari is fighting at the podium. Avesta Bardi still looking for this one. It is chaos on lap 1. Look at Legend slowly making his way through the pack. He's got past Avesta, but Tim Wentink and Lewis McWilliam both making contact. Lewis back into the race lead, but he does have a 5-second time penalty and is struggling on his tyres in the early phases of the restart. Good start there in terms of action. It's very dramatic. just dropped down the order. Marcus Tell making some moves on Thomas Mengens, but Thomas is still up the inside. We'll come back to that battle in a moment, as we do have a couple of cars side by side in front. Brady Pollock looking to make moves on his default setup. Fair play, Brady, still keeping it going. But look at Liam Redmond. Ferrari fans will be holding on to their tea and hope Ferrari can stay in the podium places, but with Legend behind, I am not so sure of that. Although he is defending him well. Legend Rosenberg trying to go around the outside of Parabolica. It looks like Madeline Tons is making moves here.
No. I need to make an extremely important point. At this moment in time, considering penalties, Liam Redmond is leading the Italian Grand Prix in a Ferrari at Monza.
We will see if that is the way it is at lap 27, because here comes Legend down the inside of the Ferrari. He can't get it done, but he backs out. He does back out. He's got the switch back there. Liam's not got the exit, and as I imagine he's going to be swamped by Avestigo Badi soon. Liam is holding on well, but it's not well enough, unfortunately, for him. He's going to get swamped by the Ukrainian on the inside. He's gone for a switchback. He's gone for a switchback, and he's off across the grass. He's completely cut the corner. He's missed his braking, and he is off across the grass.
And look at this. Now the 4 people ahead of Liam have a penalty.
He's letting them through. That is fantastic sportsmanship from Avestigo Badi. He has let Legend through. He hasn't let Liam through. So that's not good. He hasn't let Liam through. He will keep his penalty because he gained a spot. But here comes Aaron McFall, the 2 Irishmen, having a scrap. The man from the north, the man from the northwest, I suppose, is fighting. Avesta has not let Liam through, meaning he will keep his penalty because it was an unfair move on Liam.
From the most unsuccessful place in Ireland.
I think Tim let Lewis through. Yeah, I think he did let him through, but I think he will keep his penalty as well. So we'll have to wait and see, as Aaron McFall still trying to find a way past Liam Redmond in 5th spot. Liam was in 4th spot, but Avesta did not let him through after an unfair move. Lewis McWilliam, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, seems to be pulling away with this one. We thought he had lost it at the safety car restart, but here comes Aaron McFall. Is he going to go to the left or the right? He's going to dummy him, and he's going to try and successfully do what Avesta go bad he did, but he didn't. Liam's missed his braking. Liam's missed his braking.
That's a Mayo man right there.
He has gone straight on. He's made a valid effort there, has Liam. He has lost a spot and he's received a 5. So Liam now is on the penalty front, as here comes the other Alpha Tauri of Manuel Tons. Breezes past the Ferrari. I don't think that 5 was justified. We did say in the rules, if you do go on and make a valid attempt, it can be removed. But Liam has made a mistake and he's dropped down to 9th for Ferrari now.
And look, it's a 5-second penalty Grand Prix.
Yeah, I don't really think Aaron can complain anymore, considering everyone around him has a 5 seconds, apart from Enzo. Enzo is down in 7th, and is the leader, if you get rid of the penalties, I suppose, but the gap up the front is now 1.3 seconds. Lewis McWilliam is proving, once again, dominant in the wet, but he's on a poor run of form, so mistakes could creep in, and his teammate has had the race start that he needed. He's up to 3rd now on the lap number 6. Marcus Tell and Luke Davis. Luke Davis just getting chucked off the track by the Norwegian. No real sense of awareness, I suppose, from Marcus there. He's just chucked the Alpine off the circuit. We've seen him pushing him wide. It's Tim Wentink has responded with a fastest lap. The Dutchman is not out of this one yet. It is 2 Dutchmen charging up behind Lewis. Tim Wentink is not out of this one, folks. He may have made a mistake on the restart, and he may have dropped a bit of a gap, but he's not done yet. Good in the wet conditions, says Tim. He won his first ever FEO race in the wet conditions. Austria season number 3. We are in season 4 now, of course. So we will have to wait and see. Aston has said, come on, Avesta. And Avesta crashed about a minute later. So, chatter's curse, we could say there for Aston. Hello, Jay, in the chat now. We do hope you're keeping well. Marcel Maggiera is the next man to try to crawl past Liam. Liam was in 3rd place in this race for a moment, but sadly things have happened around him involving him, and he's been dropped down the order. But still, doing a good job is Liam.
Well, Lewis probably looking behind now, a bit annoyed, because obviously while he is leading, he thought Legend would have had to get through a lot to be in 3rd place, but he hasn't had to do much to be in 3rd.
Legend has been helped a lot by Juan Hernandez, as who is that off? That is slowly off at turn 1, and has just left the session. So penalty points there, as you can't just leave a session and keep your AI car running around. That's not fair. As well, that is Lewis McWilliam with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's Avesta Gobali with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. A 28.1. He's right behind Legend. He can still go for this one. Could the Ukrainian Brady Pollock has got past Aaron McFall, and I didn't expect that one as Brady was suffering.
Oh, and Aaron's almost at the back of Brady.
Oh, that would have been.
One Irishman is able to not hit the rear of somebody into turn 1.
Brendan, I still beat you yesterday. I don't really know why you would talk about an incident. But Manuel Tons is looking to.
The problem. You should have got a penalty for that.
Manuel Tons is trying to look past Enzo King. He's going to try the outside into the Della Rosia, and he squeezed Enzo, but he's got the job done. But Enzo, can he get the switch back? Vesta has passed Legend at the top of the order. Have to wait and see. Is something happened to Adrian? No, he's just slotted down a few spots. But it is Avesta Gobali past Legend Rosenberg. Lewis will be licking his lips at the front of the grid because that drops his championship rival down a position. Although his championship rival won't be here next race, so Legend needs a result. Although next race is France, so Lewis is very quick there, anyways, and a win could be in store.
Now I'm seeing new handling. You change those who are back to what would be the old brake biases?
Yes and no. I don't think they're ever at 50. It is 50 now on the brake bias, for some people who understand that. And Enzo is going to look to get past. No, he's not. He's a bit far back on Mantle. Tim Wenting gains on Lewis through sector 3 on every lap. Is that his yellow flag sector 3? That is Can Banan gone. Has he hit the pit wall? I think he's hit the pit wall. As we have a virtual safety car, this is going to be upgraded, surely. Marcus Taudis just made a move on Marcel Maggiera. He's just got it done. As the Norwegian, are we going to get a full safety car? No, I think we will stick at the virtual. Of course, upgrading to the full safety car is a common thing did by the in-game stewards. They love a good full safety car. This will help some drivers, and it won't help some drivers. Hopefully they can all stick to the Delta and nobody can pick up a drive-through penalty. I'll have to wait and see. I imagine we will be going green in a moment because Lewis has just slowed down to bleed the Delta and they are racing. Are we going to go green any moment? No, we haven't. Okay, thought we would go green there. The safety cars, virtual safety cars, apologies, very long on this game. And now we've gone green and no one has been called out by the Delta, but Lewis McWilliam has got a much better position to end that one. But look at Legend, straight back past Avesta. Avesta has been caught out on the Delta. Of course, the Delta is the speed you have to keep to, and if you go over it, you will be getting a drive-through penalty. It is Legend past Avesta. Avesta's a fantastic...
And it's past Luke.
Avesta is a fantastic wet weather driver, but he's struggling a little bit behind Legend as the two AlphaTauris. Oh, Aaron's in the pits, actually. That's a very early stop for Aaron McFall. Topia's out. Topia's crashed at the Parabolica. Are we going to get a safety car? Could this benefit Aaron? No, we haven't got a safety car yet, and I can't imagine we will be getting one. But that's disappointing for Topia. He's had a poor weekend. He's had a very poor weekend, unfortunately. So not good. Manuel Tons right up behind Brady Pollock. We've seen Brady pass his teammate Aaron, but Manuel is looking surprisingly quick in these conditions today. He's not normally a very fast wet weather driver. He's a fast driver overall, just makes a couple of errors here and there that cost him. But doesn't normally look as quick in the wet as he does in the dry, but he's looking very quick today, is Manuel. Doing a good job in that AlphaTauri Honda. As they're all close on the circuit, but there's just not many. Aaron has gone for the Inter there, hasn't he? He is. He's on a fresh set of Inters. There's Tim Wenting really pushing it through the Ascari chicane there. That could have cost him there if he had made a mistake. He is dropping back to Lewis McWilliam, and Legend is 2.9 seconds behind Tim. The two at the front in a world of their own. Started dry. No, it has always been wet, and we don't see the rain clearing up anytime soon. Unless it goes to wets, I can't imagine it'll go quicker. That's a fastest lap by Lewis McWilliam.
Brady train here. It seemed very slow in the last corner, and then we'll want to get past with just not much ERS to defend with, or to attack with.
Here comes Manuel Antons in the Alpha Tower. He's going to have the straight line speed in the back of that with the Honda engine. Down into turn 1, easy on the brakes. Both at a similar stature. Manuel Antons makes the move for P5. That's a great move from Manuel down the inside. Yeah, never looked like he wouldn't make that corner. Nailed the braking. And he is on his way to catch a Vestago Body. Legend really struggling compared to the front two. We can see Chloe being lapped in P15. Disappointing for the Williams. Of course, that start crash affected a lot of drivers. Juan was gone before we reached the first corner, and so was Jake and Cito. That's disappointing for them. Disappointing for them, as Brady Pollock is still on the back of Manuel, but unfortunately he doesn't look like he's going to be catching up to the Portugueseman. He's very quick. Vesta, though, on the other hand, does look like Legend, who is making mistakes there. I was going to say catch up to Legend, but Legend made a mistake and he's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty to add on to the 5 he already has. Could this be Legend's downfall? Could this be the start of something in terms... He's still in P3, but he's just not looking like he has that racer's edge. It is the fastest lap of the race for Tim Wentink. Still having the pace as ever. Is Vestago Body going to try send one, though? Down into the Retafilio. No, way too far back. Even for Avesta's standards. Way too far back is the Alfa Romeo. If he went for that, he'd be... Are you going to mention the fact we made contact into turn 1 once more on this stream, Brendan? Marcus Towell is pushing to get past Liam Redmond.
I'm afraid you're too good at setting up opportunities.
Yeah, just like I set up the opportunity to beat you yesterday. Marcus
Yeah,
Towell.
by hitting me and ruining my race.
Oh, you got sent to the back as well. We're not having this argument on stream, but Marcus Towell is looking to get past Liam Redmond, the Ferrari-man, who, he started off so well, and then about 20 seconds after it all went down the drain pretty much. He didn't do so well, but Marcus Towell in the Red Bull is looking to get past him for P8. Is he going to try it into Ascari? If he does, this is going to be a dangerous one. He's going to go down the inside into the Ascari. No, just backs out at the right time. But he's really quick through there now. I imagine he will get him into the Parabolica. Brendan probably deserved the SJ. You didn't watch the race. You didn't watch
Lewis
it.
has went wide.
Lewis has made a mistake at the front of the pack, and it's Tim Wentink who's going to take the race lead off him. We've seen Lewis drop that lap, but the leaders are fighting side by side down into turn number 1. It is Lewis McWilliam who holds the race lead, but Tim is much better on the brakes. He's made a mistake. Oh, Tim's made a big mistake there. Tim has made a big mistake. He just got a wobble on the brakes, got on the curb and had a wobble, but he is still 0.5 of a second behind. How's Avesta doing behind Legend? He's still stuck behind him at about 8 or 9 tenths. But Lewis, mistakes creeping in. What lap, Brendan, would these inters die out? Would it be about now? About halfway through?
Yeah, halfway through, I don't know. But then we'll actually try and go to the end. We'll see if there's a safety car at any point.
Tim's made a mistake again there. Apologies.
Yeah. But I'd say at this point, well, they're either going to pit now or they're not going to pit.
It'd be interesting if we do get any more safety cars, because they've all been driving really well apart from that lap 1 incident. It's been fairly clean. Apart from, of course, the lap 1 incident, as we said, and maybe Tim's move on Lewis. But Tim's kept with Lewis this lap, so Lewis is not superior pace-wise at all. Lewis is in. No, he's dummy Tim in. Lewis McWilliam has dummy Tim Wentink into the pits. That's worked beautifully for Lewis, unless Tim was planning on pitting anyways. But just like it has been on so many occasions, we have an Aston Martin 1-2. Lewis McWilliam leading from Legend. Someone could try and do an Ocon and go to the end on one set of tyres. Yep, they could. It's a bold strategy. They could well do it. Liam Redmond also in. Marcel Magiera also in. All these guys making a pit stop. They're going to do 14 laps on a set of inters to the end of the race.
The whole point now is, obviously, Tim, he can get the 5 seconds.
Marcus Towell can probably go to the end here. I do apologise for overcutting you, but Marcus Towell could possibly go to the end of this Grand Prix. He's on newer tyres than the lot of them because he did pit under the safety car. This could be interesting for Marcus Towell. And it's also going to be interesting to see, does Lewis actually pit this lap, or is he going to try stick it out for a few more? He has been struggling these last few laps, and we will have to see, can Tim Wenting get the undercut, of course. Well, it'll be interesting seeing a Briton and a Dutchman coming out side by side out of the pit lane in Monza for the first time since Real F1 this year. This has been a quick in-lap from Lewis, though. So I imagine there will be a pit stop as he is pushing these tyres, no planning on saving them. Oh, he's had a wobble, and he's in. Lewis McWilliam will make a pit stop. We'll keep an eye on Tim Wenting down the order and see where he will be, because these are fighting. He's flying through Ascari. Legend has had to stay out, but Avesta's also stayed out. Still going to try and capitalise on having the Dutchman in front of him. Madeline Tons is into the pits. Here comes Tim Wenting, though. Keep an eye on Lewis on your graphic on the race map. It might be difficult to see.
Or maybe not. I'm sorry, that was the other Red Bull.
Here comes Tim Wenting down the main straight. We see Lewis in the pit lane. He's about to exit now. We see Tim Wenting here. He's set purple sectors. There's the Aston Martin struggling out of the pits. He's through. Tim Wenting takes the lead after a fantastic undercut. This is going to be a scrap to the end now, folks. This is going to be a fantastic scrap. Manuel Antons has got out in front of his teammate, but Aaron McFall has set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Excellent stuff from Aaron. Enzo King, of course, there's no penalties here. Of course, them guys can't get them removed. Lewis did have to serve a penalty, so did Tim. So they can both get them removed. Although I can't imagine FVR winning an FVR. Yes, of course, Tim, a member of the Formula Virtual Racing team. Nothing to do with us. It's a completely different organisation. I can't imagine Legend will be anywhere close to these two guys, though, because he's going to have to do a massive overcut. And is Avesta going to try something different to the Dutchman, or will Legend pit this lap? Surely. No, Legend stays out. And so does Avesta. These guys still happy with the tyres. What about Brady Pollock? Haven't talked about him much today. He stays out as well. And Enzo will go for the box. Enzo will go into the box. Marcus Towell stays out. We'll have to
see if Enzo doesn't have a penalty to serve compared to Tim and Lewis. But I assume he's been passed.
Yeah, he's nowhere near. Tim and Lewis are miles past. Enzo King, if one of these guys makes a mistake, though, the other can capitalise on it. If Tim makes a mistake, obviously Lewis can try and get past. So we are in for a interesting race. There's Adrian Tice in front, going to get in the mixer as well. What was that? Apologies?
No, Aaron's ahead of Enzo, so Enzo slotted in at P10.
Enzo slotted in at P10. He's. It seems to be, if you're on the exit of the pit lane, you are struggling. Here comes Lewis McWilliam for the race lead. No, not close enough. He was a purple sector 1 there, though, so Lewis is the quicker of the pair so far. Tim has a bit of traffic, but Lewis is struggling a little bit in the wet conditions, having a few slides here and there, although that can be expected. Tim needs to get past Adrian at the nearest opportunity. Adrian is holding him up big time. We can see in front Tim Wenting starting to struggle behind the Canadian of Adrian Tice, who is a clever weather driver. Of course, he'll get a lot of it in his native country of Canada. If Tim can get this done into Ascari, and Lewis can't, there's Tim on the inside. Oh, he's clear, true. Lewis is going to get held up a little bit by Adrian Tice here, who's had a slide. No, Lewis is going to get through. Clear enough here. That is crucial for Tim to get past, because Lewis could have got him, but Adrian's still on the inside. He's still got to fight this one as Adrian Tice. Lewis going to have to make an overtake. Adrian, no slouch, of course, he will fight you, but there goes Lewis past, and they've almost made a bit of contact. But Adrian is going to stick with this one. Is he going to fight him back? If Adrian can't fight this back, he's burning a bit of ERS here. So this is crucial in terms of Tim Wenting's race. Manuel Antons, that's a surprising fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Didn't expect that from him. But it is Lewis.
Oh, Lewis late on the brakes.
Lewis very late in the brakes. He's taken maximum risk for this Grand Prix, like he should be doing. Harry didn't know it stood for Formula Virtual. I think it's FVR Campantas, something Spanish word. Ask Juan. He's free time as he DNF'd on lap 1. But it is Formula Virtual Racing, yes. It is. That's why two organisations have the same name. Legend and Avesta staying out. Surely, are they going to try go to the end? Like, I mean, Lewis and Legend are probably in the same part. No, not Lewis and Legend. Avesta and Legend could be in the same party. So could Lewis and Avesta. So a miscommunication there, or Legend could be just trying his own thing. But Lewis McWilliam is going, and he tries to need to get past Tim Wentink to stop Aston Martin dominance. Is Tim Wentink on his return? It would be a fantastic win, but don't count Marcus Towell out of this one just yet. He is on much fresher inters. Here is everyone who has pitched. You can see the tyres. Marcus, they're only 2 laps fresher, to be honest. Here comes Lewis McWilliam into the slipstream, getting that toe down Monza, running a lot of straight line speed are the pair. So slipstream isn't that big because they both have a lot of straight line speed, but Lewis is so much later on the brakes, locking up and all. Oh, mistake! Oh, no. He's gone on the curb and he's made a mistake, and he's all slidey through that corner, just about getting the power down, but really struggling to do so. There's everyone who's made a pit stop. Manel actually stopping twice in this Grand Prix, and still at a competitive P7, so good for Manel and Tons. But there it is, 9/10 of a second is the gap separating Lewis McWilliam and Tim Wentink.
Just for reference, at the moment, it's 22.5 seconds from Tim to Legend.
Like, I mean, if Legend and Avesta just coast around, is Tim going to catch it? Tim's picked up a 3-second time penalty. That could be crucial in this Grand Prix. Could you check Lewis's warnings to see what Lewis is on?
Yeah, I will check them now.
Possibly some people waiting for it to dry. No, it's rain for the rest of the race. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. Is that Liam Redmond who's gone for a tip round? Oh no, Manel and Adrian having a fight. Adrian fighting back on Manel and Tons. But I think it was Liam Redmond who did take a tip round at the back, possibly just making a mistake into Ascari. Avesta happily sitting behind Legend Rosenberg for the time being. The gap between Tim and his teammate Marcus Towell is 8 seconds, but Tim has a 3 seconds now. Lewis does not. And how many warnings does Lewis have?
Yeah, 1 invalidated lap time.
Okay, so none realistically.
But sometimes that can mean 1. I'm not sure.
Okay. So, unless Tim maybe can get that removed, I don't know. Possibly.
Possibly. See, he'll only have 3 at the moment, so anything removed would be a bonus.
Yes, of course. He's looking to win this race, unless Lewis McWilliam makes some sort of mistake, and, well, these two mightn't be even in for the fight for the race win, because Legend and Avesta are pulling away from Marcus here. That gap staying at about 12.9 seconds. It's slick intermediate weather. It is, yeah. It's. I mean, it's obviously not dries, but I mean, it's not far away from dries, but it's still the Inter. Yeah, we're Ghost into the pit lane down below for Haas. I imagine that's for another set of inters. Here comes Lewis McWilliam. He's going to try it into Ascari. Not the cleverest place to do it in the wet weather, but he is going to try it round the outside. Oh, Tim just with fantastic defending there, but who's going to get the exit out of the Ascari? This is fantastic battling for the provisional race lead. If we could just get a better camera angle, that would be much better. But here comes Lewis McWilliam still he's going to try down the main straight. Surely I can't see him sending it into Parabolica when there is a fantastic long straight for overtaking straight ahead. The gap is 3/10 of a second. Lewis has gone wide. Tim tucks into the inside for the slipstream. Lewis likes the outside. He's like Michael Schumacher. He loves the little bit of wet weather on his tyres. Here comes Lewis McWilliam. Is he going to try send it into turn 1? He well and truly is. Is he close enough? No, not close enough on the brakes. Just doesn't have that bravery just yet to send one up the inside of the Flying Dutchman.
A send from that far back would have been dumb.
It would have been Aaron and Adrian having a bit of a fight here. Adrian trying to stick it out on this set of inters. I genuinely don't think Avesta and Legend will pit in this Grand Prix.
And look, they've only caught up a second.
Like, I mean, Avesta's tyres, I know tyre wear isn't that visible in this game, but Avesta's tyres are knackered. They're absolutely knackered. Legends aren't much better, as Enzo finds his way past Adrian, who is really struggling now. Enzo really struggling. Do let us know what you think in the chat. Is Legend and Avesta going to go to the end of the Grand Prix? We'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, Tim Wenting and Lewis not catching up as much as you'd expect.
It's 20.9 now to Legend.
Just remember,
Also,
Legend has the
Legend-
3 seconds as well, so Avesta would currently win this race if it stopped now.
Yeah, if it stopped now, Vesta would win.
Oh
but
yeah,
obviously
Aston, thank you for just commenting that as well.
If Legend was able to remove 8 seconds, then he would win. So I think it'd be important now to watch Legend's warnings, because if he's on 3, then it's entirely possible he gets something removed. Yeah, 2 warnings on lap 10 and a penalty.
Oh, Lewis deep. Lewis very deep in that corner. He has muddled up the braking a little bit. And he's now 1.2 seconds behind, and he's almost had a spin. Good car control once again from the Scotsman. He is he's pushing the limits to try get past Tim Wenting, who does have a 3-second time penalty, but that could be removed. Tim is lapping the Williams in front for the second time in this Grand Prix.
Oh, by the way, Legend has 3 track limit warnings, I'd say, because he got a warning in lap 1 for a collision with Manel.
Okay.
Oh, Tim having a little more of a slide anyway.
Yeah, Legend is dancing. Okay, not
Tim.
Legend. No, I was reading a comment. I don't even know what that word is.
Wait, let me see.
Oh, Avesta in the pits. Avesta's boxed. He's had enough.
Oh, he's had to put 5 seconds.
Yep, he's had a 5 seconds. So it is only Legend Rosenberg trying the no stopper. Like, what was the point of pitting with 5 laps to go?
Damage?
What? That was... Oh, his look at his tyres. They're knackered. Well, he's gonna come out... He's gonna come out right behind Lewis. Like, I mean, not right behind, but close. And oh no, Manel's got him. Manel has got him. Will Aaron get him? He could well do. He's gonna have to be brave on the brakes to get him. No, Avesta's clear. Avesta's gonna be very quick on these inters. This might not be a bad shout from Avesta Gobadi, but Legend leads this Grand Prix by 14 seconds. However, he has not made a pit stop. It's all to play for. It's all to play for here in Monza. This is such an interesting race. It's Aston Martin versus Red Bull versus Alfa Romeo versus Alpha Tauri, who are still in this fight somehow.
This, what I have to say, for Lewis now, you'd have to wonder, is this a big missed opportunity? Obviously, Legend won't be doing all of the races that are remaining in the season.
No, he'll be missing France.
He'll be missing France, but obviously, he's got, it means he is, at the moment, with the way it is, it'd be over a race win would be the points margin.
As it stands, Aston Martin take home the Constructors' Championship because they need to outscore Mercedes by 7 points with Juan. Oh, Lewis having a slide. Sorry, apologies, but Juan crashing out on lap 1. There is no real hope for Mercedes. Unless Lewis and Legend, of course, DNF. It's with the dominancies of Aston Martin. Nobody really expected them to lose, but they would be crowned the Constructors' Champions for Season 4 if it stays like it is. Lewis is really struggling now, 1.4 seconds behind Tim Wenting, but it's still not enough because Tim has that 3-second time penalty.
Yeah.
It is purple sector 1 though for Lewis, so he's still going quick. He's still pushing. Yellow flag. That's Adrian, unfortunately. That's Adrian who's lost it at the Parabolica. Of course, if a safety car came out now, it would be no chance. Oh, Avesta's out! Avesta's out! If a safety car comes out now, I have called that one. It is Avesta out at Lesmo 1. What's happened there? He's just been pushing it too much. He slid off into the gravel and out, sort of like what Sebastian Vettel did, I think. But it is Avesta out and out of this fight, meaning it's just...
Hamilton,
yeah, more Lewis Hamilton in Imola. Yeah, that's...
Or not Imola even, Italy 2010. I think he had some failure and he went off into gravel. One of 2 instances. That probably might have cost him World Championship that year, but in truth, a lot of drivers probably feel like they lost out on that championship. But only Legend and Lewis can really have a claim to this championship here in this season.
Oh, Legend is starting to make some mistakes. He's on the interslicks here, and he's on course to win his 4th race in a row. Aston Martin dominance won't be finished.
The last 3 laps.
It's going to be tricky for him to get through these last 3 laps, because surely his tyres are knackered. But Mark Estelle aren't much better. Look, his are even worse, some could say. Tim Wenting, though, is in... Well, no, Lewis would still win if these 2 guys did have punctures, because Tim has some penalties.
See, that gap, obviously, if Lewis made another couple of mistakes, and obviously you can see the difference in tyres. If you can still see the intermediate tracks on Lewis's tyres, but you kind of nearly see interslick.
They're definitely interslicks. If you go on board with Mark Estelle, they are 100% interslicks. There is no grip left on them. This is a phenomenal performance from Legend to take this one, if he can do it. But I don't know if he can. This hasn't been the best, most exciting of races. We've had a bit of excitement. But Legend going to do the no-stop from 8th on the grid. Surely taking the driver of the day performance with him for doing the no-stop. But Mark Estelle as well, 2nd. This will be his first podium since season 1. We know he does love Monza, but season 1, like, first podium since then, that is great. But now Tim Wenting is right behind him. 2.7 seconds is the gap there between Tim and Mark Estelle. So all still to play for.
Obviously,
what's the difference between Marcus and Legend's tyres? They're both dead, but it is 2 laps is the difference. Marcus did have a pit under the safety car. We'll get the tyres up for you now so you can't see the gap because there's not too much action on. But Tim is slowly catching Marcus.
And we still have 13 drivers left.
Oh, he will still be classified as P14, even though he did leave on about lap 5 or so. Tim will want to get past his teammate, though. Just in case something does happen, Legend. He will want to take a win here. But it doesn't look like anything will happen, Legend. He's only less than a 10th of his best lap time today. He's still flying on these interslicks. But Lewis will be wondering, why did I pit? Why did I do it? Tim was the first to pit. As that is Lewis McWilliam with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis is catching 1.3 seconds. But if Lewis makes a mistake, all that gap will be over. But if Tim makes a mistake, obviously, Lewis will be past us. Lewis has got on that curb again. And he has made that mistake. And he will lose a chunk load of time. That's a yellow flag. That is Adrian. And that is both Alfa Romeos out of the Grand Prix. It is too late for a safety car. But he has lost it on the exit of Lesmo 2. Unfortunate for Adrian. It was looking like so good today, but he decided to try the no-stopper, and it was all done. Legend avoids. The gap is 1.5 between Tim and between Mark Estelle, but we're going to be going onto the final lap of the Grand Prix in a moment's time. This one is going to be interesting as Tim Wenting almost took a tip round.
Slide.
Lewis's tyres aren't in great nick.
Yeah, that compromise setup probably didn't help.
Yeah, Lewis's tyres are not in great nick. Like, I mean, he's still fine compared to his teammate, but...
Well, the fact he was in the lead for the first half of the race, which is what probably made the difference. Clean air. But now we've been following Tim's tyre tracks the whole time.
He's really struggling.
Yeah.
But it is the final lap of the Grand Prix, and the only man who we need to pay attention on is, well, probably Tim Wenting as well, because he's going to try past the teammate. Can Legend Rosenberg's tyres hold out this final lap? You can see the 2 Red Bulls heading down the main straight now. I think Tim could get Marcus, but that 3-second time penalty could prove crucial, because Marcus can definitely get that 5 removed. But Legend Rosenberg, can his tyres hold out, take a 4th win in a row? And I believe this could make him the overall all-time race winner. Possibly. Would this be his 6th win this season? It could well be, but Tim Wenting is actually falling back from Mark Estelle. He's a 12 lap tyre advantage. He can brake a lot later than Marcus, though. That's the thing that makes the difference. Red Bull back on form. They've dropped Sam for Tim. Well, no, Sam's actually in Italy for this week. That is why he's not racing. But Legends tyres are surely going to make it. Surely he's not going to make a mistake here. And he's pulled off the 0-stop race. And it's going to win in Monza. This is a phenomenal performance from Legend Rosenberg. Tim he's going to have to push it late if he wants to get past Marcus. Legend's weaving. He's happy. I wouldn't weave. You don't really have much rubber left on those tyres. But rounding the Parabolica, it's 4 wins in a row and the championship lead extended. When he's going to miss a race, Legend Rosenberg wins the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. Phenomenal result, and it's going to be Marcus Tell finishing in 2nd spot. Marcus is back on the podium for the first time since season 1. It's going to be Lewis McWilliam who takes the podium off Tim Wentink. Marcus spins across. Oh no, Marcus at that 5, of course. Lewis will not keep 2nd as Marcus will get that removed. I imagine it is not an Aston Martin 1-2, folks. Don't worry.
And you actually, just what is technically the race results as of now, you have Aston Martin 1-2, Red Bull 3-4, AlphaTauri 5-6. You have an Alpine 8-10 as well, so you have 6 teams in the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a good result for AlphaTauri. It's a fantastic result on home turf for AlphaTauri, because they don't normally have like 2 cars in that good of a points finish. That's a fantastic result for the AlphaTauri outfit.
Obviously, Tim apologising for that incident earlier on in the race, where Tim kind of basically dragged Lewis off, well, pretty much dragged him deep.
Lewis saying he should have seen that coming. Yeah, it was a good strategy from Legend. The Aston Martin are not quite working together, but Aston Martin are the Constructors' Champions. They are the Constructors' Champions. Tim can't get his penalty removed. Marcus boxed on lap 2, so he did not complete the no-stop. Legend completed the no-stop.
Wait. Yeah.
No post-race interviews, of course, folks. But there is your podium. Brendan, who wins the Formula 1 Safety Award?
Let's see. In an odd twist of events, well, who actually didn't get a single penalty?
Enzo.
Enzo, yeah.
Enzo wins.
And also, Aston Martin Constructors confirmed.
Yep, that is, well, I mean, like, even if they both got 10-second penalties, it would still be confirmed, so.
Yeah, but we may as well just note it.
But that is it here in Monza. Next week, Paul Ricard is the place to go.
And after that, is it
Singapore. There will be no replacement for Germany. Don't ask why that's on the calendar.
Yeah. So Singapore is a finale. I believe that on last game was one of Legend's best tracks, so.
Oh, go. Lewis won't like that. Lewis will not like that. But that is all we do have time for here in Monza. We do hope you enjoyed. It was a fantastic win. Make sure to follow our Instagram and our Twitter to keep up with all the latest FEO updates. Stay safe, stay well, and we will see you next time.